Your insulation is going to help regulate the attic temperatures by just doing its job. It's keeping your controlled space, whatever you set your temperature at inside the home, whether it's, in the summertime, you're keeping your home cooler, or in the wintertime and you have 70, 72 degrees, and you're keeping that cold air out from the exterior. You're separating that thermal transfer of, having a really cold ambient air outside and your controlled air on the inside. Keeping those two separate, which is, that would create any type of condensation and freezing, and having a cold air space in there. That's going to transfer thermally into the home, cause water problems, cause mold, cause issues from that. So when warm air escapes into the attic from your home, it's going to cause moisture. That warm air hits that cold, freezing air in the attic, and it's going to cause moisture, which can cause ice damming on the roof. It can, it's going to flash freeze really quickly. It can cause condensation. You can have almost kind of like a little bit of frost and ice on the bottom of your OSB. During the day when that starts to warm up, then that can melt if it gets warm enough outside. And then now you have moisture, and then that repeats itself, daily, which is obviously going to cause a problem, for moisture and mold and issues like that. And then, of course, if you have heat escaping your house, then your heating bill is going to go up. So that's an issue and a large expense there as well. So here in Kansas City, we're an R49 is going to be just for your attic space, for residential. I mean, obviously other parts of the United States, it's going to be different. So that's a code that your contractor will have to look up, and they'll have to know that to make sure they're following that procedure and doing the best practices, for that climate. The only way to tell if insulation is insufficient is just measuring the overall thickness. There's going to be, the manufacturer will tell you how thick that insulation needs to be to equal up to R49. You could go up in the attic and measure from the sheetrock to the top of your insulation, and it needs to have an average thickness of whatever the manufacturer specifies for that R value. So, that's something you could do yourself, or you could always hire an inspector or a professional to go up there and measure that thickness and make sure that you have enough insulation in your attic space. Yes, insulation should be paired with ventilation for your best results. Of course, you want to have enough insulation for the code for where you live to make sure to eliminate any type of thermal breaking, to keep your house, as best condition as possible. And you want to have the proper amount of ventilation to keep any type of, trap moisture in there. You want to have just proper ventilation. That's just going to improve the longevity of your home, the attic space, your roof. It's just going to improve longevity and the overall comfort of the home. That's just one cost-effective way to be able to do that.